I'm removing a timing belt of the 2001 Civic. First of all, I disconnected the battery. I removed the wheel. I removed the guard that was in here, and then I turned the crank pulley into the marks. You turn it counterclockwise. This is a 19 millimeter bolt. That's what the mark looks like. It's hard to see in the vehicle. What I did with mine is I put a marking paint to where the mark is. Right there. You see that white mark right there? That's in line with the mark of the block, engine block. Then you need to remove the power steering pump right there, and then remove the valve cover. I remove all the things that goes in here. I remove the air filter case. I removed the alternator that was in here, and then I held the motor up with the transmission lift so I can take the mount off. This is the mount. I just put it on the side. I was holding the motor. Once this is off, you take this covers. There's a cover here and one at the bottom, and also this bracket here. Got the bulb cover off. Before I forget, I'm just kind of remind myself the next time I'm gonna do this. I also remove the gas cable and a few brackets that was in the way. Also, when I took you need to loosen before you do all that. You need to loosen this drive pulley bolt. You need you need this counter torque. You put it in that slot while you undo the bolt, the 19 millimeter bolt. I did a few times. I had a hard time taking it off. I ended up getting my torch and really torch it till it was glowing hot. And then you're not supposed to use your impact gun, but I did use mine because so much easier. I have my Makita impact gun to take it out. It was only a few seconds came off or loosen. The bolts here are 14 millimeter, and the bolts that's on the valve cover is like 10. They're all 10 millimeters. I'm sorry, these are 17 millimeters. 17 millimeter bolts. The alternator is held by two bolts, one at the top and one at the bottom. What I did is loosen this and then loosen the wing nut. This one is frozen because of the rust, so I gotta spray it with lubricant and kind of clean the threads out because it was so tough, and there you have no space down here taking it out. But once you got it loosened a little bit, what I did is undo the other bolt and move this out or in so that I can remove the belt from here. And after the belt is out, you can just wiggle this out of its slot because this is pinch right here. You don't have to loosen this all the way out. You just loosen it counterclockwise, maybe, I don't know, maybe half inch, and loosen this, and should be able to take it out. This cover here is held by 3 bolts. The third bolt is kind of in the middle. It's hard to see, but it's underneath this cable here. See that cable? It's underneath that. It's also a 10 millimeter. You take that off also. Yeah, that's the wire connector. It's like a squeeze tab. Take the chromie off, and there's a squeeze tab there. I just use a flat head to pry it off. Finally, all the bolts are off. The one in the middle underneath the wire is kind of hard to get to, so I use this instead of my regular wrench. There he goes. That's the timing belt. Now the motor should be in the TDC top dead center position now. That's because I got my marks below. But also at the top, I put a mark there the last time I did this job. I put a mark on the wheel, corresponds to here, that, and then there, I put another white mark here. That corresponds to the top edge of this too. I'll show you the bottom marks. This is the drive pulley. I already loosened this, so it should come off easy. So that's the mark. See that? That's the mark right there. Manufacturer. This is me putting a paint, but the mark is right there. That one. There's like two dots here, and then one dot here, or a slash mark. It corresponds to the mark at the top here. To that V-shaped notch. It corresponds to that. I'm going to remind myself not to lose this piece. This goes to the slot right here when it goes back in. The notch right there. Now I'm taking out the lower covers. I got the bolts off already. This is how it looks like. It's held by 4 bolts. 4 bolts. Now this is all torn up, but the bolts are here, here, and here. And then the other upper 2 is here and right on this slot here. Deep. It's deep down there. They're all 10 millimeters. They're all the same size. Right here. Same length, I mean. But the upper cover, the middle is kind of longer. Now removing the crank positioning sensor. CKP. Without disconnecting the tab. I'm gonna put the bolt back. There we go. Now I'm going to remove the belt itself by turning this auto tensioner. There's a 6mm Allen wrench on the side. I'm going to turn to the counterclockwise, and I'm going to slip the timing belt off its tracks. Now it's off. I'm probably going to change everything that's underneath this while I'm here. I'm probably going to replace the sensor, the water pump for sure, the idler pulley, the auto tensioner, and all of that. And putting it back on is just the reverse of taking it out. In this crank, putting it back on, there's the setting. I'm going to show you. There's an arrow. Fighting with the light here. There's an arrow right there. This mark here. should correspond to the arrow behind it. Here's an arrow right there. Right now it's on the mark, so keep it that way as you slip the new belt on. You also need to remove this engine bracket or mount. It's got total of 5 bolts, 3 on this side, 1, 2, and 3, and 2 on this side. It's 1 on top of each other. See that? That's the bolt. And here. This is really a pain taking this out, the one on the side, because there's no space in there. I use a low profile ratchet for that.